Hello, my name is Andy and I am the Village Idiot. I'm armed with a car and a GoPro and an unhealthy amount of time on my hands. I'm using that time to attempt to visit every civil parish in England. You're watching the West Lindsey series. This is one of the 9 districts of Lincolnshire and one of the county's most rural. It has 128 civil parishes. Let's see which one this episode's all about. The wind was quite strong where I chose to do today's intro, so I've opted to voice over this part. Here I can be seen marvelling over the open Lincolnshire countryside. Standard. I'm also explaining that I'm in a very unusual churchyard. I'll explain why it's unusual as we walk around the parish of Saxby. The West Lindsey series is sponsored by Gainsborough Cycles 01427 617 752. For all your cycling needs, this is your one-stop shop, located at 20 Ropery Road or online at gainsboroughcycles.com. There's a link in the description. Gainsborough Cycles, ask for Trevor Halstead. Here's my disclaimer for people who may be watching me for the first time. I say things as I would in my native accent and dialect. As a result, I may not pronounce things in the same way as the locals do. Remember, I'm a visitor. It's impossible to know everything. Leave me a comment, spin me a like and bash that subscribe button. Let's get to today's parish video. Saxby is a tiny village situated 9 miles north of Lincoln and 2.5 miles east of the A15. The population is so small that it's included in the civil parish of Owmby by Spittal. It's sometimes referred to as Saxby by Owmby in order to distinguish it from Saxby All Saints in North Lincolnshire. It's one of Lincolnshire's smallest and it's heavily reliant on farming. Owmby lies directly to the north and Spridlington to the south, although Saxby does not share a border with the latter. We'll learn why that's the case next week. With a place this small, as you can imagine, finding anything interesting was difficult. I did manage to collect a little though, mostly pertaining to the church, and that's coming up shortly. At the end of Church Lane is an area which you would kind of term the village's centre. Here there's a bench which has been here since 1995, commemorating VE Day. There's no prizes for guessing how many shops and other amenities Saxby possesses. Yep, that's right, a big fat 0. Mind you, it does still have this postbox. It might be small, but it also still has a parish notice board. Big or small, if they've got one of these, they get one of those. We're going through these houses next to St Helens Church, a Grade 1 listed building constructed in 1775 originally as a mortuary chapel. As a chapel, it's thought to have been designed by Carr of York. However, no evidence to prove that has ever been found. Therefore, it's also believed to have been designed by Lancelot Capability Brown, the great 18th century landscape architect. The present church and burial vault were built for Richard IV, Earl of Scarbrough. There are 4 wall plaques to the Earl of Scarbrough here, dating from 1832 to 1856. The church was restored in 1869 and 1895 before being restored for a third time with a full redecoration in 1948. It can only seat about 70 people. There is, believe it or not, a Commonwealth war grave in the churchyard, that of leading airman Derek Hugh Matthews, who died in 1946 at the age of 22. It's very windy out here at the moment. I do hope the GoPro audio is all right and you can actually tell what I'm saying and you can't just hear wind noise. So now we're back on Saxby Cliff Road, and to complete this circuit, because this is a really small place, all I've got to do is walk back down here to where the car is parked. Saxby is so small. I did warn you last week this would probably be about a 5-minute video. The church suffered earthquake damage in 2004. Don't confuse that with the infamous Market Raisin earthquake of 2008 though, which measured 5.2 on the Richter scale. Saxby has never had a school. Children of this parish have historically attended schools at Spridlington and Owmby by Spittal, although only the latter of those now remains. To finish the main walk around, we have a couple of footpath signs. That's one thing that Saxby does quite well: footpaths. Local Lincolnshire ramblers are able to access both Owmby and Spridlington from here thanks to a public right-of-way that runs right through it. So given how small this one is, it's not going to get a picture bit. What I am going to do though, to try and bulk it out a little bit, because I feel like I've sort of shortchanged you with this one this week, is I'm going to put the camera on the dash and drive this way out of the village towards my next one and along the A15 for a little bit, because you can get to the A15 from Saxby if you just follow that road. And that's basically what I'm going to do to end this episode. There really isn't anything more to show you. What an interesting church, and what an interesting little village in general. You don't get ones like this all the time, do you? Right, let's get that camera on the dash and let's get out to the A15. So this is pretty much just a simple drive to the A15 via Saxby Cliff, which on the way will pass the base of Brightwater, the company which runs the Green Burial Meadow in Owmby by Spittal. Enjoy this minute and a half of pure rural Lincolnshire scenery. And if you think Saxby's small, wait till you'll see next week's episode. It's down there, and this one almost doesn't exist. I've been Andy, also known as the Village Idiot. This has been the Parish of Saxby, and I'm out.